Hello lovely students and welcome back to English with Lucy. Have you ever heard a phrase or expression in English and then attempted to use it in conversation and thought, that doesn't sound quite right? Well, firstly, I can relate. And secondly, you might be interested to know that native English speakers frequently mispronounce certain expressions without even realizing they're making a mistake. Even the listener might not pick up on the mispronunciation as it's so similar to the correct phrase. This is one of the reasons why they're so prevalent and often go uncorrected. And this happens so often, in fact, that we actually have a term for these words and phrases: eggcorns. Eggcorns, and yes, you did hear that one correctly. An eggcorn is a word or phrase that sounds like another real word or phrase and is often mistakenly used in a logical way in its place. Should you say duct tape or duct tape? Scot-free or scotch-free? For all intents and purposes, or for all intensive purposes? We need to talk about this. So today we're going to test your knowledge to see if you know the proper phrases for some of the most common eggcorns. It wouldn't be an English with Lucy lesson if there wasn't a free PDF. I have created a free PDF and quiz for this lesson. It contains all of the eggcorns we're going to discuss today, plus some extras and a quiz. If you'd like to download that and automatically get all of my future free PDFs, just click on the link in my description box. You enter your name and your email address, and after that, you've joined the PDF club and you will automatically receive all of my free PDFs along with my news, course updates and offers. It's a free service and you can unsubscribe at any time. Now, I have a little PSA. This channel is designed for people who are learning English, but every now and again, a native speaker walks through the door and they end up having a lovely time in my classroom. If you are a native speaker, yes, you right there in your tiny little screen, keep watching because this lesson might be quite fun for you. You might end up being surprised that you have been misusing common phrases for your entire life. If that is the case, please be honest and comment in the comment section because it will be a huge ego boost for all of the amazing learners of English we have here. To know that it's not just them making mistakes, native speakers make so many mistakes too. Promise me you'll do that? Okay. First eggcorn, this will test you. Reginald refused about his future plans, which ultimately cost him the election. Is it to be Pacific or to be specific? Did you say to be Pacific? Because if you did, you'd be wrong. The correct phrase is to be specific, meaning to provide details or information that goes beyond a general or vague overview. I know, they sound so similar. Number 2, let's see how you do. The author needed the characters in her novel to make them more relatable and engaging. Is it flesh out or flush out? These two have such subtle spelling and pronunciation differences, but big differences in meaning. The correct answer is flesh out. If you flesh something out, nice phrasal verb there, you are adding more detail or substance to something, such as a plan or idea. Flush out is another perfectly fine phrasal verb, but it has a few different meanings, like to force something out of a hiding place, or to cause something to become red or flushed. Neither of those meanings make sense in this context, so you better stick with flesh out. Number 3, the highly anticipated fireworks display turned out to be when it was cancelled due to heavy rain. We have damp squid or damp squib. Honestly, before I became an English teacher, I was none the wiser about this one. It should be B. And this is a tough one. I've heard so many native speakers make this mistake that at this point, I think it should be just changed to damp squid, but the correct phrase is damp squib, referring to an event or situation that is disappointing because it fails to meet expectations. Okay, on to number 4. Many health problems can be if they are detected early. We have nipped in the bud, and nipped in the butt. Did you guess A? I hope you did, because that was the correct answer. Nipped in the bud is an expression used to talk about a situation or action that was stopped at an early stage before it had a chance to develop or become a problem. It's a useful one that you can now use with confidence. Bud, not butt. Ready for the next one? Number 5. In this world of business, only the most ruthless and cunning businesses rise to the top. Is it A, dog eat dog, or B, doggy dog? It is adorable if you chose B, doggy dog, but the correct phrase is dog eat dog, sadly. This slightly unsettling phrase refers to a very competitive environment where people are willing to harm others for personal gain. Not quite as cute, but definitely more accurate. How are you doing so far? I definitely want you to share your scores in the comment section when you finish. Okay, number 6. Despite causing significant damage to the property, Mary's son, because she's the head of HR. Should it be got off scotch-free or got off scot-free? The correct phrase is scot-free, B. We use this phrase to talk about someone who has escaped punishment or consequences. Now, scotch is a verb meaning to stop something from happening, so this might be where some of the confusion lies, but nevertheless, the correct term is scot-free. It comes from the old Icelandic and Norse word for tax, which was scot with a K. It literally means tax-free. Time for number 7, which I must say is quite a tricky one. The new software update rendered the older version obsolete. Is it to all intents and purposes or to all intensive purposes? I swear the English-speaking world is totally divided about this one. Did you figure it out? You should have said to all intents and purposes, which means practically speaking. When we say it quickly, it sounds so much like to all intents and purposes, to all intents and purposes, to all intensive purposes. Sounds practically the same. Okay, number 8, this one's fun. My cousin's controversial performance art piece involved him standing on stage while reciting Shakespearean sonnets. Was he butt naked or buck naked? What do you think? If you said butt naked, I feel for you because the correct phrase is buck naked, meaning completely naked. Now, I am not going to say that butt naked is wrong because it just makes sense. If you are naked, you are showing your butt. But originally it was buck naked, but now a vast majority of the population has adopted the term butt naked. So I'm going to let you have either one here. Number 9. The new hire in accounting is barely... He's still got so much to learn. Is it passing mustard or passing muster? It is passing muster. I truly wish passing mustard were correct because it would be hilarious, but no, the correct phrase is to pass muster, meaning to be deemed acceptable or satisfactory. It's a really nice idiom despite not involving any condiments. If you are looking for more information on condiments, I may or may not catch up with you later. Okay, number 10. I've been, these past few years, waiting for the perfect opportunity to ask for a promotion. Should it be biting my time or biding my time? I must say, with the flap T in American English, it could be either. Biding my time, biding my time. But with British English pronunciation, the difference is stark. The correct answer should be B, biding my time, which is a great expression used to refer to waiting patiently for the right moment to take action. Number 11. the city skyline transformed into a breathtaking display of lights and shadows? Is it as dusk fell or as dust fell? It should be as dusk fell. Maybe this one wasn't too much of a challenge, but the correct answer is dusk, which is the time before sunset. And for those of you who knew, I'm sure it was quite an easy one. Let's move on to number 12. The teams to score a goal in the final seconds of the game fell short. Is it a last-ditch effort or a last-stitch effort? Did you guess A, last-ditch effort? If you did, amazing, you nailed it. A last-ditch effort is a final attempt to achieve something, usually when previous efforts have failed. And I think people think it's last stitch because when we say it with connected speech all joined together, last ditch does sound an awful lot like last stitch. Last ditch, last stitch. Yeah, so similar. Okay, let's have a look at number 13. All of the souvenirs at these shops are finding a unique, high-quality keepsake is such a challenge. Is it a dime a dozen or a dime a dozen? The correct answer is B, a dime a dozen. It's a popular, more American idiom because we don't actually have dimes here in the UK. It's used to describe something that is very common or very easy to find. Okay, we have two more. Number 14, Jenna losing her job turned out to be, as it led her to discover her passion for dog grooming. Good for Jenna. Should it be a blessing in disguise or a blessing in the skies? I may have given it away then. It should be a blessing in disguise. I use this one all the time to put a positive spin on a negative situation. And the final and possibly my favourite eggcorn of today's lesson is number 15. The CEO used his assistant to avoid taking responsibility for the company's financial crisis. Is it A, an escaped goat, or B, a scapegoat? Oh, how I wish it were A, but it's B, a scapegoat. And a scapegoat is a person or thing blamed for mistakes or faults of others, although an escaped goat is a much cuter and happier image. Well, those are all the eggcorns I have for you today. Please share your scores in the comments. And if we do have any native speakers watching today, can you be honest with us and tell us how many you got wrong? It will be a real confidence boost for my students. One last question for you. Can you think of any other eggcorns? Please do share them in the comment section. Also, don't forget to download that free PDF and quiz to test your understanding. Don't forget to check out all of my English courses. We have my B1, B2 and C1 12-week programs. They are amazing. I am biased, but I'm not sorry. If you'd like to sign up to those, just visit englishwithlucy.com or visit the links in the description box. I will see you soon for another lesson. Bye!